Hello. I want to do class on corset ties. Yeah, I'm a cow, and we're gonna go over it. So it's gonna be great. Let's see. I pretty much have this set up, and we're gonna zoom in on me on the most crucial point so that y'all can hopefully see. Let's see. I think this will be fine for the moment. Okay, so there's a couple different ways I like to do this. There can be very, very simple reverse tensions ones, and there can be the more like complex ones that are built into one of two structures that I know of. But standalone ones work pretty good. It's more an exercise of like tension laying and knowing your body than anything else. And anybody who wants to learn a corset tie and is having trouble, especially given your body type or, my belly like argues sometimes, just wear an actual corset. Doing an actual corset on you, one with like the bones and everything, or just a good one, and you can tie right over that like really well. And I can actually help you get a lot of these patterns down so that when you're actually tying on your flesh and it gets a little bit squishy and stuff, you'll have more muscle memory of what you're actually doing here. Because a lot of this is really simple, but it comes down to rope handling and flexibility in one case and muscle memory. The first one I want to go over is just the super simple, quick and dirty reverse tension on the back. And that's what we're really going for. And this is a standalone. I mean, obviously you can work this into a structure if you were doing that. But this can look really pretty up front. And it can be a fun exercise on trying to get everything as symmetrical and pretty and like evenly laid as you can. And then doing all your like rope joining in the back. So anyway. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in. It'll just make it a little bit easier. And I'll move the mic over so hopefully y'all can hear me a little bit better. Okay. So you're going to start, we're going to start it in back, but it's usually a lot easier to get this if you kind of start it in front. And then keep it all kind of to your side here as you do your pull through. And then you're just going to shift it. And do a reverse tension. Now you want this kind of like right below your breast actually. So I was a little low there. So work it up like right below your breast and your sternum because that's where it's like, especially in these standalone ones, that's where your anchor is going to be. So reverse tension going down. You don't want it too tight to where you can't breathe, just like an actual corset. And then you're going to reverse. And then, so you're going to be doing a lot of this, where you're taking a finger and you're making room for this rope to come back and reverse tension through. And then you're doing this move, as I call milking the cow, where you pull, you hold your tension on the one, and then you pull your working through it. You're working in through. So we're going to reverse again. Which way are we going? Yeah. Doesn't have to be perfect as far as like spacing on the first lay because you can always like adjust it, but just try to make sure it goes all the way around. So next one. So it's always going to be the one you just did. So I've got my finger through it right here. So I'm going to find it with this finger. There it is. Now reversing again. So I'm going to milk the cow the opposite way. There's no one way to milk a cow. And then another reverse in the opposite direction. The back is not so important as far as like prettiness, as long as it's functional and you're catching the right ropes. So again, this is the one I just did. And you can like hold it like this if it helps you envision where the next one is going to be. That's what I usually suggest when you're doing like reverse tension like this, is to kind of have this one to where you're not full on pulling it. But also this is a corset and it's going to be tight, so it's like it'll kind of cinch when you do pull through that way. So you can join rope via your preferred method. I'm going to show you one method that is, I'm sure, very widely known, but I just learned it last night. So anyway, it's where you make a lark's head, and you flip it over the rope you're joining, right? So there's your lark's head, and then you bend the ends over. Wait, does it go the other way? I don't even know. And then you open up the lark's head like that, and then you pull. Yeah, it's confusing. I'll show it every time that we do it because it's not what I'm used to, but it's neat, and I guess that's how I'm supposed to be doing it. I don't know. It looks fancy. I like it. Mine are all like weird though. So there's the beautiful little. That's beautiful. You have to find the line that you just had, so that you may need to pull a move like that, like travel back to find it. Oh. Get out there. Get out. Ah. And of course, the ultimate challenge of these things is to keep them stable without shifting up or down. The other ones we're going to do will have more structure and be easy, but this one is going to be more purely on tension. And so speed is important, especially if you're going for a nice visual or something. And so you're just going to be doing a lot of the same thing over and over, which is great exercise. Okay, and that's beautiful when that's right there, like a, that's horrible. So, added challenge. Anyway, that is essentially it. It's all screwed up. No. Safety shears. No, I lost it. There it is. Yeah, big old knot in the back. That's just beautiful. There it is. This is my 10-meter piece too. So at this point, you fight through the pain and continue it. Okay, anyway. I'm taking this thing apart, but you would just tie it off. Do whatever you want. And actually, you know what? You could just pull a move like that if you're just going for like the visual, you know, just whatever. Sloppy corset, quick and dirty, but if you get really good at doing it and you're like actually like going for a nice photo or something, you can bust these out and make them really pretty. Just not right now. Just not right now. But maybe you could. But anyway, it is a series of sloppy reverse tensions. It's great. You know, I'll do a different one a little bit more structured. I'll do a standalone one actually that's up front that is probably stand a little bit better than that one. Whew. So the untying process comes with a sense of panic, and that's good. Just like taking off a real corset. Good time to practice your rope handling because you're doing a lot of cow milking. Stuff like this. I don't know what you call that. But it's great. And I think this is a good opportunity to practice that kind of repetition. Okay, so one more real quick standalone one, and then I'll show you one that's actually gonna like probably be a better build, but it has structure to it. Like, you'll see. So this one we're gonna anchor on the torso up front, just below the breast, just like we did before. We're gonna bite it up front and have everything up front where we can see it. Oh, okay, sorry. Thought I saw something else. Okay, so you do a reverse tension. And that's like you're just like your anchor right there. So make sure it's good and snug and high enough. And then instead of just doing like the reverse tension, we're going to come up from under. And you take the one that we're working on, and you're going to go under it in the same direction you were just traveling. And then this becomes more important to hold it. You can like imagine the spacing. So there. Yeah, absolutely. And some of y'all may notice this is the exact same thing I do for the leg ladder ties, or one version of that. So, right under the breast, make sure you got a good anchor. Reverse tension, all the way back around. And so this is, I usually put my finger to grab and pull it with me. That's usually my move. So if you see my finger going somewhere, I usually say it's going to find the rope, like it's searching for the rope, or it's like kind of like it's peeking out of the bushes and being like, hey, like the path to the city of gold is over here. I don't know. You get the metaphor, you know? It's like, hey, and then the rope's like, oh shit, and then you go through. So to help you visualize whenever I go for these. But anyway. So we're all working on the same line here. So this is one you're working for. Here's working in, and there's one we just came from. You're gonna loop on the same rope that you're holding and that you're working on. So you're gonna come out, and you're gonna dip inside of it. And you're gonna leave in that direction. And then you come back to the same thing. So this is that one we're holding. Like this is all the same one. Come under, comes up. And then, so again, we have the same rope here. Then we come like this to leave, exiting in the same direction that we originally were coming in on. Again. Sure. And you start to see the symmetry come out. Okay, we'll extend rope. I will do it kind of in the back. So the new way I'm doing it, or you know, the new way that I know. Oh god, I don't know if I can show it. You do that. Oh wait, no, it's like this way, and then you open up the bite. You can't see nothing. It's the worst demonstration ever. Oh, we'll have a whole class on that. Okay, so same thing. And same rope. And then underneath and exiting in the same direction we came in on. I didn't get my symmetry super straight here. I think I screwed it up a little bit. Oh, no, it's still on. So, same thing. We're going to hook it here to envision where like the spine is going to be. Because if you just pull it, it's going to tighten whenever you come into cinch and do your knot. So, again, you can envision where you're going to be. And you can either hold it there or you can kind of let it go as you kind of work your tension around the back or something. Just like that. As long as I'm using my arm to trap the tension though, while I pull the rope around. So as long as you've got it trapped. And then same thing, come under it. Same rope. So at this point, you can either continue to go to your heart's content until your body tells you can't. Now you could stand alone it and like tie it off like in back where you can't see it, or maybe like not up front. But one thing that you could do to just kind of anchor it from shifting too much, depending on what you're doing, is you can always come down here under the thigh. And do like a cow hitch or something. Yeah, a cow hitch. Yeah. Uh-huh. Come back through and do like another one. Or something. Just whatever looks pretty to you. Really into cow hitches lately. Go figure. Okay, well that one's sloppy, but still, you get the idea. So now you've got something that you can, drag down if it's trying to move up, or you can like always bring it up too if it's like trying to shift down. But generally, I found these are pretty good for like just standalone. This is probably going to be your most like functional for just like I just want a corset. Or you want to put one on somebody, whether you like want to do some like rope bombing or it's like, because people are like they like to do the chest harnesses for like if you're trying to be like discreet in public with like a shirt on or something. But that can be tricky and uncomfortable, and so can this. But this is a lot easier to like hide, and it's actually more like flattering on your shape. Like I don't know. I mean, there's the squeeze up top, which actually we're going to do here in just a second. We are going to work one of these into a very minimal but artsy looking chest harness. So now that you know this one, you can flow from what we're going to show next into this one. Or you can flow and do like a sloppy reverse tension, but do it up front. which could be easier for you to manage, but it won't look. I think the point of the sloppy reverse tension though is really to it's sloppy in back, but it should look really pretty up front. So doing it up front is kind of, I mean, unless you're really just trying to practice your reverse tension, I don't see too much purpose in doing it front. But I think this one is really good for tension trapping practice, as you know, and for like the symmetry of the knots and all that stuff. And like, so I mean, you know, you can test it and like, you know, sit down and get up and all that stuff and just see where it goes, see if it shifts around. But generally, you can use these to provide anxiety relief or stimulation when you're bored or whatever your jam is. I like corset ties. I like going from other parts into corsets. That's kind of my lifestyle. And again, if you're having trouble with any of this, I really highly suggest wearing a nice corset. I say nice corset, just wear one that you like and that like fits you. I need to get this 10-meter length out of here. I think that's what keeps throwing me off is one of these ropes is like 10 meters. And it's like kind of a Russian roulette of like which rope is the extra long one. Okay, how much time we got? This won't take long. Okay, I was late. So this is a variation of the cinching corset tie, but we're just gonna do it up top. We're gonna do it up top, and then we're gonna bleed into a corset, and then it can also go into the like thigh cuff area if you needed to go down the legs or something, or into one leg for like a cool design. But you're gonna do like a sash style. We're gonna start it like the sash. So whichever way you're comfortable, but usually fight up front. And you want to come to just below the breast. Over here on this side. Just like that, to where when you reverse tension, it should sit like right there. But that's all you're doing. You're coming through the bite here, and you're doing a reverse tension, and you're going to come all the way around your torso. And you're going to do a reverse tension on this. That's the, just simple reverse tension on the reverse tension. Okay. Once you've got that, you can pop right up here. That's exactly right. And that bottom band straight up here to the top of the breast, and do a cow hitch, preferably, or whatever your preferred animal hitch is. Okay. No, it's kind of ugly. There we go. So then you'll just come, still pretty high, to the top of the breast here, and do another cow hitch. And join rope. Let's see, so you twist the rope that way, and then you open the bite up and like twist it back on itself, and then you pull. So still above the breast, which you could go below the breast at this point, but it's kind of your taste. So we'll do one more. Let's see. Do that below the breast, yeah. One more cow hitch right here, and this is where we started. It was right there. We can grab that part. So this is optional, honestly. You could just jump right in the corset, which, should I do that? No, it'll look so much prettier if I do that. Yeah. So. Okay, and then you can turn it into a corset. Anybody who knows my cinching chest harness design thingy, whatever you call it, I do a double sash too, and if you did a double, you could actually have like matching like this over here as well. And you could go into a double corset, and if you did 2 different colors of rope, it's really pretty. I've done it. I have pictures. But really, anyway. So then you come back here, and then you start the corset. You could do like a really cool asymmetrical kind of thing, so it's because it's not really in the middle. I'm going to do that design we did a minute ago, where you just come down, grab the same piece that you're leading with, or that you're working with. Ooh, what happened there? I'm working with these dang knotted ends right now. Lots of great opportunity for rope handling and tension trapping skills doing this kind of stuff. And then for like a tuck, just like tuck the ends. Who cares? You know what I mean? Like whatever. You did a bondage. Anyway. So there we go. It's actually pretty pretty. It's pretty pretty. It is kind of pretty. That's what I used to be the tagline on my show. Linzy19, kind of pretty. That was really cute. I actually like that one a lot. Okay, so you could, if you had more rope, I would do that same thigh grab thing. I'll just show you real quick, even though I'm not going to use all this rope and I'm not going to like do a lot. If you really wanted to be like cool and keep going, you could just grab this and do like, I don't know, just like lark set on, or if you really want, you could do one of these. But it's like bulky. I was going to say you could do a loop pull and then another one. And then you come between the thigh. And then do more cow hitching or whatever you're into. I'm not going to really do a whole lot here. Oh, 20 points. Oh yeah, we're reorganizing my bathroom right now. Don't look. I need to finish that. Okay. What did I do? Where am I going? Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, anyway, and then you like tie it off there. And then you could keep going into cool leg stuff, like shin ties or whatever. But yeah, that is essentially all I had to teach. And with that, I'm going to end the video. Thanks for watching.